To you, Reggie Littlejohn, founder and president of WRWF. Reggie Littlejohn has led a highly effective international advocacy campaign to raise awareness of violence against women in connection with the coercive enforcement of China's one-child policy. She has testified 8 times at the U.S. Congress and has 3 times briefed the European Parliament, twice the British Parliament, the Irish and the Canadian Parliaments, as well as the White House, State Department, and the Vatican. Her efforts were instrumental in laying the foundation for a resolution condemning forced abortion passed by the European Parliament in 2012, and an agreed conclusion against coercive birth control set forth by United Nations Commission on the Status of Women in 2013. WRWF played the leading role in the international campaign to free famed and persecuted dissident Chen Guangcheng, and ever living the mission at home. Littlejohn is currently raising the daughters of the pro-democracy dissident Zhang Lin, who is being imprisoned in China without cause. Please, let us have a warm welcome for Reggie Littlejohn.
Thank you. Yes, I am the president of Women's Rights Without Frontiers. That's what WRWF stands for, Women's Rights Without Frontiers. And we are leading a movement to stop forced abortion and sex-selective abortion in China. Now, why am I standing here when my work concentrates on China? I will tell you why. Because we're here to show the corruption of Planned Parenthood, which also extends to international Planned Parenthood, which has been working hand in hand with the Chinese Communist Party and implementing its coercive population control since the beginning. So I'm here to tell you that the blood of the babies who are being forcibly aborted in China on the other side of the world are on the hands of Planned Parenthood headquartered in the United States. So, just to give you an idea of the scale of what we're talking about, in the United States, we've had about 57 million abortions at this point. In contrast, in China, the Chinese Communist Party literally boasts that they have prevented 400 million lives, which is greater than the entire population of the United States and Canada combined. And just last week, the State Department released its annual human rights report. China has been saying that they have 13 million abortions a year. Well, the State Department says that actually that number is not accurate, that number is only the number of abortions that has happened in the official clinics in China, but other official sources inside China say that there are an additional 10 million abortions a year in non-governmental abortion clinics. We have about 1 million abortions a year in the United States. China has 23 million abortions a year, 4 times the population, 23 times the abortions. So what that comes out to is 63,000 abortions a day, 2,600 an hour. So in the hour that we're here, that's 2,600 abortions in China, 43 a minute. So basically for every breath you take here, there is a baby aborted in China. For the 5 minutes I'm going to be up here speaking, there are going to be over 200 babies aborted in China. How many of them are forcibly aborted? That number has not been disclosed by the Chinese Communist Party. However, we know that you have no doubt heard that China has moved from a one-child policy to a two-child policy. And the way that that was announced in the media was very, very deceptive. China abolishes one-child policy. Okay, and everybody thinks, oh great, it's not a problem anymore. Well, it is a problem, because single women are still forcibly aborted, because it's illegal to have a baby if you're not married in China, and third children are still forcibly aborted. So forced abortion has not ended. Also, gendercide, the sex-selective abortion of baby girls, has not ended. In China, because of son preference, especially second daughters are aborted, routinely aborted. In the countryside, where the first child is a boy, you can only have one child. If the first child is a girl, you can have a second child. People generally regard that as the last chance to have a son, and so the second daughters, the average on that second child is 144 boys born for every 100 girls born. But in 9 provinces, it's 160 boys born for every 100 girls born, and in 2 provinces, it's over 190 boys born for every 100 girls born. And all of that difference is due to sex-selective abortion of baby girls. That's not going to change under a universal 2-child policy. Second daughters are still going to be aborted. Forced abortion, sex-selective abortion are continuing in China. We need to continue to fight this. So what is the role of Planned Parenthood in all of this? Well, Planned Parenthood associated itself with the China Family Planning Association right from the very beginning of the 1-child policy. So they've been working hand in hand with them ever since the beginning. And in a 2011 letter to the editor, former Planned Parenthood Executive Vice President Norman Fleischman called China's 1-child policy a start to curbing global population, and had even recommended that it be expanded. The International Planned Parenthood website points to the Chinese Family Planning Association as its main operations hub in China, and has recently publicized its good relationship with the Chinese government, wanting to strengthen the partnership between China and the International Planned Parenthood. So every time you hear about a forced abortion in China, like for example in 2012, Feng Zhongmei was forcibly aborted at 7 months and allowed a photograph of herself lying next to her forcibly aborted daughter to be uploaded to the internet, and that caused an international firestorm of criticism. Where was International Planned Parenthood? There was a city, we'll talk about forced sterilization. There is a city in Puning where they forcibly sterilized over 1,000 women. They were sterilizing dawn to dusk, dawn to dusk, dawn to dusk for many days to get all these sterilizations done, and it was all over the news. Where was Planned Parenthood? If Planned Parenthood truly stands for choice, they should be jumping up and down against forced abortion when it is not a choice. If Planned Parenthood really cares about women's reproductive health, they should be jumping up and down against forced sterilization, which ruins not only a woman's reproductive health, but her general health. What do they care about? They don't care about choice. They don't care about women's reproductive health. I believe they care about population control, and by any means, and they're willing to look the other way when women are dragged out of their homes, strapped onto tables, and forcibly aborted at 7, 8, or 9 months of pregnancy. So the corruption of Planned Parenthood is not only here, it's exported all the way across the world to China, and this corruption must be stopped. Thank you.